Assalamualaikum guys. Tommy Fury versus Eddie Hall is officially confirmed for the next big Misfits event, and honestly, I am really excited for this one, and I am not giving it the backlash that most people are giving because, yeah, I get it. They are very good buddies, and it's probably gonna be just another sparring session for them, but still, more than anything, I'm just glad that the spirit of Misfits is back. I guess you can say, like, I'm just glad that. Misfits is back to doing what they used to do, what they're supposed to do. Like, bro, we as like I'm a boxing fan, I'm a mixed martial arts fan, and I'm also an influencer fighting fan. So when I look at influencer fights, for example, like KSI versus Tommy Fury, right? Like an influencer who has no professional boxing skill versus Tyson Fury's brother. So when I look at influencer fights, right, I'm looking for like things that I expect influencers to do, not pro boxing, like not the sweet science, you could say. Which is why initially when MF Pro was a thing, when it was announced and stuff, I was a bit hesitant. Like a lot of people, gave it the credit it deserved. It's fair enough, and obviously the first event absolutely delivered. But see, I was a bit hesitant. Like, will it do good? Like, will it actually attract the casual Misfits audience that Misfits has been building throughout the past few years? So right now, obviously, the weight difference is expected to be around 100 pounds, which is bizarre, like absolutely bizarre. Only Misfits can put out these types of events, and I'm really glad that it is doing that, right? Because we as Misfits fan, all right, you guys need to understand this. We as Misfits fan, we are used to seeing fights like Wings of Redemption versus Boogie. Yeah, we love to see those fights. Like, as like if you are someone who watches like Misfits Boxing, right, like the numbered events, so you expect to see those types of fight. Like, you are someone who is looking for, you give value in those types of fight. You don't give a shit about professional boxing, you don't give a shit about Nick Ball, Benjamin Gavazi, or for example Brandon Figueroa, Sebastian Fundora. You don't give a shit about those guys, bro. They are top level boxers. They only, Shakur Stevenson, for example, is a great example of this. They are great boxers. They're top level boxers, bro. They understand, that like the way they fight, it's not entertaining for, again, the casual audience of Misfits. That's too much. That's too deep into boxing. Though when it comes to, that, like, if you genuinely love the sport of boxing and not the entertainment, you don't give you don't give that sort of a shit about for example rivalries, press conference, and those types of shit, right? Then you will enjoy those types of shit. And I personally, like, I have a passion for both sides. I am, like, I analyze and break down, and I am entertained by both of them. And it's completely fine if you do as well. But it's just more than anything, like, the average Misfits fan, I don't think, like, for example, the card we had 2 or 3 weeks ago, right, Violet Chisora. I'm telling you guys, more than 95% of the Misfits fan, like, by Misfits fan I mean, like the the people who watched, like the Misfits, Misfits walking from, like, when it initially became a thing. 95% of those guys have only watched these fights: Wilder Chisora, the Vidal Riley fight, and the Amir Anderson fight. Maybe, and they didn't give a shit about the rest of the card. And this is my personal hypothesis, and I'm pretty sure it's true. Like, I'm pretty sure this is very accurate and very understandably so, because like, we don't give a shit about pro boxing. As I'm speaking on the behalf of the entire Misfits fan base, if you could say that's a thing, because we are entertained by name value. For example, like, for example, the Prime card, it's a great example. As far as pro boxing goes, it wasn't really, like, that good. For example, one of the fights in that card was Luis Pineda and B Dave versus what was his name, Nick Lamau and Alex Wasabi, right? The thing is, it was definitely a very low level boxing fight, but we were entertained by it. We loved it because, for example, first of all, the build up for it was insane, because we know that these are influencer guys. One of them is a huge YouTuber, and even though we have someone like Luis Alcaraz Pineda, who is a professional boxer, still we know that like, he has a huge fan base in Misfits already. We remember that walkout he did, as the mystery opponent in Misfits 4. So that is the reason why we were entertained by that fight. And as I said, it was definitely a very low level boxing fight, but still, just in terms of the value, the value of the fight itself, we were entertained by it. We loved it. That leads us to the fight itself, Tommy Fury versus Eddie Hall. And even though I don't expect both of them to go all out, all 101%, still it's just a pro boxer, not really the best ever, but still, like a low level pro boxer against the world's strongest man, or the former world's strongest man, should I say. So it's the gist of it is like very misfitsy, if you can say that. Like I really appreciate Misfits, like doing this. And I get like the most of the hate is coming off of the fact that they are buddies and they're homies, they're friends. Like they have been good friends for a long time now. And it's just a cash grab for both of them and for Misfits Boxing. But still, if you have seen the press conference, there is some tension at least. And even though a lot of people also like to claim that even the press conference, though they them saying shit about each other, that is also fake. Like that is also scripted, I guess, in some way. Still, it's entertainment. In Misfits, I'm not looking for the highest level of skill set, or the most real like toe to toe fights. I want entertainment. I'm like whenever I tune into a Misfits event, I'm looking to see bizarre things. For example, as I already gave the example before, Wings of Redemption versus Boogie. That was in the prelim of Misfits 4, I believe. And oh boy, was it a good fight. Like genuinely, right? Like both of them are absolutely huge. It was very low skill level, and I believe one of them, like one of them, had their shorts like coming off, which they had to get fixed. I believe it was Boogie maybe. Anyways, it's just like that's what Misfits is about. I'm saying all this shit. And if you want, like, if you are not getting it, or if you're not relating with what I'm saying, I'll name you someone who can absolutely relate with what I'm saying. And I feel like he is, I guess, the best example. He's the best example of like the transition between two worlds. Someone who understands both Misfits and professional boxing. It's the weight concept. If you don't know who he is, then you're probably an MMA fan, or like an absolutely pro boxing fan. But I'm pretty sure you do. I'm pretty sure you do. And like it's just the way he breaks stuff down. It's very interesting. And like I myself actually try my best to get a lot of inspiration from him as well. Like when it comes to me, like when I'm breaking down influencer fights, it's Wade who I'm trying my best to take inspiration from. When it comes to professional boxing, it's Areola Depot, undisputed. And when it comes to mixed martial arts, there are a lot of guys, obviously, but for me personally, it's Hopper Oyeme, who and JG too maybe, who has like the best type of delivery, I guess. And if you want YouTubers, I would suggest to watch for the categories. Yeah, sure, go ahead. All of them create amazing content. Anyways, that's what's happening, guys. I know I am very late to the announcement of the Beast versus the Beauty, but see, if you can even call Tommy Fury Beauty, but still, but I mean Tyson is way better. Let's just be honest. But still, it's just initially I was I actually honestly I didn't even like think about making a video. Like I'm like after the past few months, like I've been so used to like not being that much hyped up, because I don't have the opportunity to share them with you. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is. Like thankfully, by now I have enough, uh I guess, what do you call it, today I'm actually today I'm studying a lot. But it's no biggie, right? So yeah, anyways, that's what's happening, guys. You guys make sure what you guys think. Inshallah, I'll see you guys next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.